Welcome to Freshly Grounded. This is episode 141 with Faruq McDermott. We are currently, as you guys can tell if you're watching the video, and maybe even slightly by the quality of the audio, Faruq and the whole team. I am on tour right now with Iman channel for the Light Upon Light conference. We're going around the whole of the UK, Glasgow, Manchester, Cardiff, London, Birmingham, Leicester, Leeds. No, not Leeds. Actually, we were in Leeds yesterday, weren't we? Anyway, we're on this tour with Mufti Menk, and so that's why there wasn't an episode on Friday, but we had a spare hour just now, and I, as always, keep my podcast equipment with me. So I quickly got the podcast equipment out. We set up a quick table. We're currently in the venue for Oldham. We just found a side room and we recorded a podcast. I spoke to Faruq, who's my co-host on this tour, and I said, Faruq, do you want to do an hour podcast? And so we managed to get about 45 minutes, alhamdulillah. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and inshallah we'll be back in the studio with our great visuals and great audio within the next couple of episodes. All right, guys, enjoy this episode, the short episode, quick one with Faruq McDermott.
And welcome to Freshly Grounded, the brand new podcast by best friends Faisal and Sam.
Huh?
I said welcome to Freshly Grounded,
No, after that bit.
the brand new podcast
And after that bit?
by best friends Faisal and Sam.
Really?
Okay, so we got about 45 minutes, and we quickly put up a very rushed, freshly grounded set. We're on the Iman channel tour right now for Light Upon Light. This mic's too tall for me.
Yeah, we can't make it lower as well.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a shame.
But alas, we are joined with Faruq McDermott straight from the city of Medina. The streets of Medina, not the streets, not the streets. So you and I are co-hosting this tour.
We are, yes.
Do you know what? I'm going to put it down here. There you go. Drop
okay,
down.
let me drop it down.
Bob's your uncle.
Right, yeah, let's point it up a little bit. There we go.
Right. You and I.
Yes.
Right, so apologies for the visuals of this show, by the way, guys. We're just piecing one together. We got 45 minutes before we go live on stage, and we thought, you know what? Let's set up a podcast and get it going.
Yeah, we did indeed.
No problem, now. It's okay. It's okay. This is going to happen because we're doing a rush podcast.
Yeah, the food's in another room.
Yeah.
That's
No
all
worries.
right.
No problem. No
That's
problem.
all right.
It's
That's
okay.
all right. Assalamu alaikum.
So we're on this tour, and you and I are co-hosting.
Yeah.
Or as someone put it, you're hosting the tour and I'm on the sub bench.
You're the sub.
Yeah, which is fine.
You was hammering it out, and they subbed me in for you.
No.
So I get a phone call. Yeah, do you want to jump on a plane up to Glasgow? When? Tomorrow. Okay. So I flew up to Glasgow. I did the event there. Then yesterday we had another event, and then today we got another event, and then tomorrow we got another event. It's all over the UK, and it's just to bring some of the ulama to the people in their local area.
Yeah.
And I love these sort of initiatives, bruv, because we can't always expect the masjid to provide everything. The masajid are busy throughout the year. We have the local people, but to get some of the bigger boys, sometimes you need an event. And it's a day out for the kids. You've got places to go shopping there. People bring their wares, they bring their perfumes. You're going to get a little bargain or two when you come to these things. And it's nice for us because then we get to stretch our legs out of London for a little while, you know, so... Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, how do you find generally like the travelling and like the little sleep, and because although it's not hardship necessarily because we are staying in hotels and there's nice venues and stuff, it's still hardship in the sense that you're away from family. You are travelling, like you're getting 3-4 hours sleep some nights, waking up onto the next city, then you do a whole tour, you do a whole show in a city, and at 1 o'clock in the morning we're travelling to another city and getting at 4 o'clock in the morning. How does that take a toll on you?
Does
in
a
its
bit.
old age?
It does, yeah, you're 100% right. As you get a bit older, man, I remember we used to do this before it was popular. Me and another brother, Jawad, man, I bless him. We used to do these sort of things. So we'd drive up for the event, like say the event would start 6-7 o'clock in Birmingham. Yeah, so we'd drive up from London there. We'd go until 11-12 o'clock, and then we'd drive back, and we're getting home at 2 o'clock in the morning. You know, so we'd do that. It was easier then. Now it's taking its toll, bruv. I'm feeling tired right now. I'm looking over there and I'm thinking, oh, I've got a 45-minute talk, you know. But I've just come back from Medina, gets home to the missus, was there for about a week, and then I'm disappearing again. I've been away for like 4 months.
So your family doesn't right now stay with you in Medina?
No.
How is that? How do you find that? I've heard a lot of stories. Is it?
It's rough. the first time, obviously the Barakat Medina, you get there first time, still buzzing a bit. Yeah, it's Medina, you know, every week going to the masjid, every day, going to Masjid al-Haram, you know, enjoying yourself. And then after the buzz of it wears off, because there's a reality, right? As a human being, when you go to a new place, it's new. It's exciting experience. You've never done it before. You go again once a year. It's beautiful. People say, I wish I could live here. But when you go there, it loses that. Very quickly, after about a month, you lose that awe of what the place is. And instead, it becomes a place you live. So instead of you getting up and saying, I'm in the haram, I'll wake up, I've got to go do shopping. It's weird.
Really?
Quite quickly, it becomes like just a place that you live. You've always got Masjid Nabawi, which is a lovely place to visit. But if you visit it every day, after a while, it just becomes going to the masjid. I'm going Masjid Nabawi, rather than I'm going Masjid Nabawi. So spending all that time away, coming back was a big excitement for me, you know. Having no family there, nobody. I don't want to sound like a bit of a baby, yeah, but I'm a bit older than everyone. I think I mentioned this last time. I'm a bit older, so I feel like a bit of an old man, because there's a point in your life, and it's going to happen to you, Faisal, yeah. I'm just going to prepare you for it, yeah.
Nice.
You think you know, like you think you're still connected to the current sort of trends. You feel it. And then you might start dropping little jokes like I do, you know. Instead of saying Instagram, you'll say Instabook, just to wind up the youngsters. Yeah? You go, yeah, I'm on Instabook, you know, just to be a wind up, yeah. But then there actually comes a point when you're no longer connected to the current situation. So it'll change and you'll be like, I always thought I'd be current, yeah. So there's like a couple of jokes I dropped when I'm there and people don't get them. And I'm like, they don't know this old stuff that I'm going on about. And then alongside that, the other people of your age who are a bit older, they're few and far between. So it's hard to meet people, you know, who will understand, who have got wives and kids. A lot of them go there, they haven't got wives, they haven't got kids. The ones who do generally bring their wife and children there. My situation is a little bit different. I'm not going to be able to bring my family there until a bit later, because my daughter's at the moment going to secondary school. She's in year 9, but they do, in her secondary school, some of the kids who are doing well, they bring them the GCSEs a year earlier. So she's in that group. So she's now studying for GCSEs in year 9 rather than, I don't know if it was the same for you, but year 10.
Yeah, same for
We
us,
started
yeah.
in year 10, yeah. But some of the students, they got picked, they said, yeah, you're going to be doing your GCSEs 1 year early. You're going to
Was it O-levels when you were... Well, you're not that old.
Oh, I do that joke to my mum. That's how old I feel
no.
now. I've done that joke to my mum because she genuinely was doing her O-levels.
Oh, you was doing GCSEs?
Yeah, I'm a GCSE boy, man. I'm not that old. I'm probably not that much older than you.
Yeah, you're probably like 3 or 4 years older than me, to be fair.
Yeah, what, are you 30? I'm 34.
Farouk.
What?
Do I look 30?
No,
It's
you
my
said
hairline,
3 or 4
innit?
years older than me, so I immediately assumed you're older than I thought you were.
I'm only coming up to 26, bro.
26. Oh, so you're a youngster, man. You've got time. But soon enough,
30 is the oldest I've got yet.
you're gonna be off the beaten track, bro.
I can
People are
imagine.
gonna be laughing at you, not because your jokes are good, but because they don't get them.
Yeah.
That's gonna hurt you.
Like an awkward laugh. Like,
Yeah, you're gonna be awkward.
You're quite good with the jokes on stage and you're quite confident on stage. You're known for not preparing at all. Not preparing, but as in the sense that you don't like to be scripted on stage.
Yeah, it's not a preference of mine.
So, what prep do you do then? Because when you go on stage, it looks like you prepared for that for so long. Is it because of the years of experience that you have?
Oh, I don't know, man. I think this was something natural. I can't say that I trained for anything really, or I practiced for anything. But I think it's just the way Allah made me in a way. Because I'm not a good faker, if that makes sense. I'm a good blagger.
Okay.
I'll explain, yeah? I'm a good blagger. I'm not a good faker. What do I mean by that is, a faker is someone who's putting something on, pretending to be something they're not. Whereas when I'm blagging it, I know what I need to do. Yeah, I'm not lying to you, but I'm just filling the gap, sort of thing. Yeah. So I'll even say that on the stage, right? I've just realised, I've got 5 more minutes. I've got to pad out here, so bear with me. I'll tell them, I've got 5 minutes to find it. Yes, so bear with me, and I'll just talk about anything. But I don't know how it looks as a viewer.
It's good. It's very transparent. What I will say though, bro, is that you obviously on these events, your and my job is to basically ease the crowd in, make them feel comfortable, hand the crowd over to the speaker and hand the speaker over to the crowd, make sure the crowd feel like their time is valued. But what you do is you do one thing extra. You enjoy when you get times, even if you get like an extra 5 minutes where we have to, a speaker is running late, so we have to fill in the time. You love to give da'wah, and you find, not only do you have to give da'wah, you have said to me even, I think a couple of days ago, that that's my opportunity to like give my da'wah. What do you love about, because you're very natural at that spoken da'wah, what do you love about it, and especially doing it kind of on stage as well?
Oh, that's a brilliant question, man. I bless you. I don't know what it is. There's something inside of me that... Have you ever been fishing?
No.
Do you play football?
I have.
You scored a goal?
No.
You've never scored a goal?
I have scored a goal, but I'm not normally a goal scorer.
Yeah, okay. When you scored a goal, when you save a goal, when you pull off that technique that makes you the winner in the exchange. Say you're on the pitch, someone's got the ball, you come in with that cheeky little tackle, you take the ball off him, and you pass it up the line and someone scores, yeah? That's sick. The feeling you get, that's how I feel when I'm doing dawah. Like, I'll give you an example, we was in Medina just not long before I left, and one of the brothers, a Saudi brother, he's a student, but he's an older student, alhamdulillah, someone I can relate to a little bit, He's doing a master's in Kulliyat Dawah, the faculty of dawah. Really nice guy. So I said, look, he takes me out for food quite a bit. So I said, look, this time I'm taking you out for food, I said, what do you want? And he said, I don't know, pizza. I was like, cool, we're going pizza, So he drove up, he's got a car, he jumped in a car, we drove around. We went to a pizza place just outside the Jamia. It's literally 2-minute drive. 2-minute drive, over a roundabout, down the road, and then U-turn and back up on the other side, Because, by the way, if you ever drive in Medina, it's all straight roads and U-turns, There's no... You don't really get a windy road, and if you want to go on the other side, you got to go all the way down, U-turn it, and all the way back up. It's really simple. I like driving there, man. It's a simple driving, although the drivers are not simple. They're a bit more complex. So we goes to this pizza place, and we go in there, we order the food, and a couple of the shabab of Medina come in, 3 of them, Bruv, they've got these haircuts you've not seen before. We think we're cutting edge, These dudes, I don't know, man, where they're getting these haircuts from. He had shaved around the whole side, fully shaved, But on top, he had a proper, I don't know, man. It was like a wave. It was like the hair was long, but he had
like Johnny
had a load
Bravo
of body. You see them adverts back in the day when you were little, and the hair is just like a full unit. And they swing it around. It's so healthy looking hair. He had that thing on his head,
Wow.
But it was. Do you remember Will Smith?
Yeah.
In Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
When he had that.
Yeah, the high top.
Yeah, he had like a high top, but it was like a high flop.
Okay.
It was like a high flop, bro.
Fine.
Yeah. It was one of the strangest haircuts. I said, "What'd you do to your head?"
They speak English?
They speak English.
Okay.
Most of them, And the sheikh was there as well. So we had the opportunity for dawah, and was talking to them. And we spoke about Jannah. The thing is, I know where I've been weak over the years. As a Muslim, you enter into Islam. You try to enter fully, praying your salah, but sometimes you feel weak in your iman. When it was before, you was excited to get up for Salat al-Fajr. Now you're dragging your feet a bit. It's because we forget about what the end goal is. So when I talk about dawah, when I call people back to Allah, I try to call them back to Jannah. Because when we are young, we imagine everything. Like when I was little, if you said to me, you could be a superhero, I would have believed you, man. Because kids believe a lot of things. You tell them and they're believers, bro. You can tell them any nonsense. These people, they make up this man called Santa Claus, old Saint Nick, who climbs down your chimney and gives you presents. And they believe it wholeheartedly. Like, there is this guy that does this. Oh, how does he travel around though? Oh, on a sled with flying reindeers. And the children are like, yep, he does, And then they say, and there's this little creature that comes around and puts money under your bed in exchange for teeth. The tooth fairy. Yeah, I believe in him. They 100% believe anything you tell them. As we get older, we get very cynical. We don't believe. We struggle with belief. Or we struggle with imagination. We don't imagine things anymore. So we stop imagining Jannah. And it's just like, oh, what's Jannah? I'll give you an example. You speak to some other faiths and you say, okay, what to you is paradise? And I say, well, it's walking with the Lord. They have no imagination. They have no information, number one, but they have no imagination of what it could be. Whereas Islam, subhanAllah, it takes away the pretending or trying to think of your own thing, and it tells you clearly, Jannah is a place what no eye has seen, no ear has heard of, and no heart can comprehend. In it is things that you cannot imagine. However, it doesn't mean we shouldn't. And when you think of a river, if you speak to somebody, what's a garden with a river? They're going to think, basic river, basic garden. You got to turn that around and think much more deeper of what it could be, and how amazing it could be. Imagine a river that has no bank and it just floats through the sky. Think of something like that. Jannah's going to be much better than that. But I try to connect people back to that wonder of Jannah. Because when you see people get excited about it, they're going to go home and pray.
So what happened with these guys then? You spoke to them about Jannah.
Okay. So this young man, we was talking to him. We spoke about Jannah and the need for it. Because when you have haircuts imitating the artists and people in the Western world, it's because you become affected by them. You see what they're doing, you want to copy them. And that's because you're not, how can I put it? You're taking them as a role model over another way. So when these people become your role model, you're infatuated by what they're doing and what they're up to. So I was just trying to explain to the brother that, look, the haircut's one thing, it's up to you what you do with your body, but if you surround yourself with people who remind you of Jannah and things like that, you're going to be excited to go there. So you're not going to dress in Western clothes. You're going to dress like the scholars because they're the ones leading you to Jannah. And you're going to listen and take advice from them rather than listen and take advice from... Because right now, in places, I'm going to be frank and honest, a lot of people... I even spoke to one brother from Medina. He said, don't speak about Medina like that, I said, why not? Tell the truth. Some places you go to where you think are really religious and holy... There's people blasting music. Now, there's good people, but we're not going to talk about the good because everybody assumes good. So we have to make the balance and talk about what's not good, And the fact is, people loving music. The youth, Shabab, man, there's a young man driving down the road with music blaring, rap music. And subhanAllah, we pull up next to him, and the sheikh, he said to me, he obviously knows English because he's got English music playing. Tell him. Because the sheikh, mashallah, may Allah bless him, who's doing his masters, he, subhanallah, he's with the religious police. He works for them. So he said, he put his window down. I said to him, Ya akhi, put the music off and play Quran. And he got shocked. And he was apologetic. I'm sorry. He turned it off and he put it on. But that's because there's less influence on that side and more influence from the Western side over there. And a lot of people say, but it's Riyadh. But it's, Jeddah. And no, it's Mecca and Medina as well. It's both. And as soon it'll be all over. The effect that this is having on people, this current trend. Because, let me give you an example. You're on InstaFace, aren't you? Doing it again.
Instabook.
Yeah, Instabook. There you go. So you're on Instagram. You can know someone from the other side of the world.
Yeah.
And you know what they want, what they do with their life every single day.
Mm-hmm.
They post what they did in the morning. So you know a lot about them. They don't know who you are, but you know everything about them. And you're I've seen interviews with these stars where they'll say, hey, do you remember when you did this happened? And the star's like, no. They're like, well, actually, we found it on this. And they pull it up for 4 years before. And the star's like, oh, yeah. To him, it was an insignificant moment in his life. But to that interviewer who's been following them, and then now's got an opportunity to speak to that person she's, or he's infatuated with, is now pulling it up. And to that star, it's like, huh? Yeah, it was just like a Wednesday, I think it was. Mm. They have no idea what the person's talking about. Get what I'm saying? Yeah. But their neighbour, their next door neighbour, or, their auntie even, their grandparents, they have no idea what their grandparents are doing on a daily basis. They have no idea what help is needed. They have no connection with their community where they live. They know nothing. But they've got a friend who they've played video games with for the last, 5 years on the other side of the world. You hear of these stories. I'm going to go visit my friend, who lives in Finland or whatever. And they go all the way over there and they meet this person. They know loads about each other. They're good friends. I'm not saying that they're not friends, but I'm just saying the benefit they're having to their local community is almost zero. But they know what's going on in other places around the world. And I think that's a bit sad. Mm. Used to be, especially here in the UK, you used to know your neighbours, And this is what the Prophet ﷺ used to encourage. And when you see in Medina people acting and dressing like the rap stars on the other side of the world who've never visited Medina, they've no idea that these boys are imitating and acting like them in Medina. The problem we see with that is those people are emulating them. They have no idea what their local community is doing, what the local people of Medina are doing, and they're not connected to their community. It's sad, bro.
On our first day of the tour in Glasgow, was it? Yeah, in Glasgow, there was a sister. She converted to Islam just after she met Mufti Menk.
That's right.
She said she'd been. I actually saw the interaction with her and Mufti. I was at a side, and she basically got her signed book, and she said, "I've been like looking into things for a while. I'm not Muslim, but I really enjoy your talks." And then she sent him an email, literally, bro, within 30 minutes, saying, "After I met you, I took my shahada." And me and Mufti were kind of.
I took shahada with her. Yeah.
Oh, did you take it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I took her because she was saying she wanted to speak to the Mufti and he didn't have time. So I said, okay, come speak to me.
Okay, well, listen, right, in that case, what I want to do is two things. I want to hear that whole story then, but then also you spoke to me about something yesterday. We were talking about how when people take Shahada, the idea of entering Islam fully. So what I'm going to do is while we're on the while we're on the topic of switching topics anyway, let me just readjust the camera and hit record again, because this is all like a pop-up freshly grounded. So
well, it's a pop-up freshly
grounded. There's no mic stands properly. There's no producers or anything. So let me just reset that because I want to hear about it. I didn't know you took a shahada.
Yeah, no. I didn't want to tell you, but it would be unfair to sit here and pretend like, oh, like a liar, you know? Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, so what, yeah, so I was in the queue, right? Well, monitoring the queue.
Fine.
For the book signing. It's just where the Sheikh, mashallah, may Allah bless him, he hands out his book, gives it to the people who come to the event, and they have a little personal moment with the Sheikh, yeah? But this particular afternoon, it was a long queue, wasn't it? It was all the way back, man, and everyone wanted to get their book from the Sheikh. So he's like, look, listen, we have to speed up the queue, you know, you ain't going to have as much time to give salam and have a little chat with the Sheikh, you know. Whatever people think about these type of events and what the Mufti himself is doing, you can't take away from the benefit the dawah has. And you can't take away from the Sheikh the effort that he puts in to meet the people. When you get to a certain level of fame like that, it's really hard to have that personal impact on people. Yet the Sheikh still does. And he tries to give them time. And he's way more humble in person than he is when he's out there. You know, he's better than you think. Anyway, I just wanted to clarify that because I really... on interacting and meeting with the Mufti, the more you get to know him, the more you like him, man.
Yeah, it's true.
Really is that. Like, even though you like him generally, he's a good da'i, whatever, and he's calling people to Islam, and he's a sheikh and a mufti in his own right, you know, guiding his own country towards Islam. But when you meet him, he's way nicer than...
Yeah, this has been the first time I've been able to spend time with him on a personal level, because last time I didn't really know him, and so I think there's that issue of I don't want to be that guy who's like constantly... you know, trying to get a conversation, but because we've seen each other a few times now, this time it's very much more relaxed, and you're able to have those conversations.
Yeah. And he's just like a brother, man, because you never feel like it's like a teacher-student relationship. You know, some shuyukh who come, they never bond with you to that level, or they never speak to you on a level where you're similar, like talk to you generally, but rather everything's an nasiha for you. You know, because you need it.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
you get what I'm saying.
Like,
he's the one to deliver the nasiha, and you're the one who needs to take it. You know.
Yeah.
So you always feel like you're the under the person. Yeah. With Mufti, it's not like that at all. And you feel like, I don't know. It sounds cheesy, yeah, but you feel like, you're his brother.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's nice. So anyway, we was in the queue, and this lady, Scottish lady, she said, I want to speak to the Sheikh. After I said, we ain't going to have that much time. I said, okay. She goes, yeah, I've been trying to get in touch with him for, 5 years, 6 years now. I was like, really? She's like, yeah. So I was like, okay, well, we'll see what we can do. But the Sheikh didn't have much time. So he gave her his email, that he has, that he sends to people, and they can contact him, ask questions, things like that. So after she got the email, she wanted to double check because she didn't get the last part, the at whatever.com, So I said, I'll go double check. So I went to the Sheikh, spoke to the Sheikh. He said, yeah, such and such at such and such.com. I was like, cool. Went back, I said, yeah, it's the right one. I gave her the thing. And then she went, yeah, I've been trying to get in touch with him, this, that, and the other. And, I've been thinking about Islam, but I don't know what I'm doing. And I said, well, why don't we have a chat, She said, yeah, I would like to because, you became Muslim and I want to hear your experience and how you did it and this, that and the other. And quite a lot of people out there, bro, they have an excuse why they don't accept Islam. And her one was one what a lot of people have. They say, if I become Muslim, I don't know if I'm going to be able to follow all the rules. So therefore, what's the point in me, joining it and being hypocritical? I said, you're being a hypocrite by not joining it. Because you're saying it's true, but you're not accepting it. You're not changing the way that you live. Because you believe it's true, but you're scared you're not going to fulfill its rights. I'm saying you shouldn't do that. You should accept that it's true and try to fulfill its rights. So anyway, we spoke for a while. And I asked her about her, situation. She said, look, I've been looking into Islam for such and such amount of years. And so I asked her, okay, so what do you believe then? Do you believe God is one? She's like, yeah. I said, has no partner, has no son. Yeah, I believe this. Then I asked her about the angels. Do you believe in Allah's angels then? She said, yeah. And I said, do you believe that the angels brought revelation down, the books? She said, yeah. I said, do you believe those books were given to prophets? She said, yeah. And I went through, I was much more in depth than that. And then I asked her, and do you believe that those messengers brought the message that there's a hereafter, a paradise and a hellfire, a day of judgment? And that when we die, our souls are going to be either sent to hell and paradise? She said, yeah. And I said, do you believe that all of this is by Allah's creation and fate? That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala willed all of this to come into being, and Allah knows everything's going to happen before it happened. Belief of qadr. She said, yeah. I said, then you're no different to me in your belief. You believe the same as I do. And that you believe Jesus, I took special care with Jesus. Some people do when it comes to the Christians or people of Catholic faith, to make sure that they understand that Isa is not the Son of God, that he is in no way any greater than any other prophet, and that he is a human being sent as a guide to the guide to the people. She agreed with that, yeah. So I said, your belief is no different to mine, I said, so what's holding you back? She went, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pray, and learning how to speak and learning how to pray and say the words. I said, that comes in time. That's all you need for that. That's not something impossible. It just takes time to do it, yeah. So I said, so why don't you bear witness? She did. She took Shahada in English and then in Arabic. She burst out crying.
Oh man, because if she's saying she's been trying to contact Mufti for 5-6 years, this must have been at least a 5-6 year journey.
She needed the pushing over the edge, bro.
Right.
She needed pushing over the edge because
probably for the last couple of years as well.
Yeah, maybe. There was a guy with her. I don't know what his relationship was with her, but he was Muslim. But she hadn't took the leap of faith. That was all she needed, was just someone to push her over the edge. A confirmation that it's okay to be a Muslim.
Wow.
And when she took Shahada, she burst out crying. He started to cry. There was a sister who was a witness to it. And I believe she filmed it. I don't know if she uploaded it anywhere. But she started to cry. And then I said, look, the first thing that you need to do as a Muslimah is what Allah says in the Quran. That because after you accept the belief, you believe in the unseen, you establish the prayer, and you give the poor people from what you've got. Because once Allah gives you something as great as Islam, there's nothing greater in this world than Islam. You cannot bring anything that can compare to being a Muslim. Because Muslims enter into Jannah and they avoid the hellfire. And in the existence of the human being, there's nothing greater than this. There's a moment that's going to come soon to all of us where you will either be told to enter into paradise or enter into hellfire. And that is it. And that is the moment of your life, your whole existence. There's nothing more important than that. All the other stuff in between it could be neither here nor there. Whether you're disabled or able-bodied, whether you're clever or stupid, I know it sounds bad. Whether you're a smart person or someone who struggles with, that sort of things. Whether you're a hard worker or lazy, no matter what it is, everything boils down to that moment when you're told to enter into one or the other forever, abada, for the rest of your existence. So there's nothing sweeter or better than saying Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah and entering Islam. And the first thing we should do is establish the prayer. Because alhamdulillah, the brothers who I took Shahada with, although they didn't really stay around me much after taking my Shahada, and that's a problem. Let's be honest. Some people take Shahada, they're convinced with the argument of Islam because the person's really convincing. Yeah, they convince really well, but they don't help them enter into Islam. They just convince them that Islam is true. And the person says, yes, Ashhadu la ilaha illallah. Now what do I do? It's like, yeah, you're a Muslim, so figure it out. I kind of felt like that, but they did teach me the dua before you begin Salah. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. You know this one?
Yeah.
So when I learned this, I was like, what do I do now? So I started attending the masjid with another guy. He would take me there, we would attend. And I remember I'd just follow what the people are doing. And over time, I learned how to pray. I learned what to say. And it took a while, but I got there. I learned it. There's so many reverts. And I think I don't know if I mentioned this last time, yeah? But there was these people who are ex-Muslims that we asked them, okay, recite the Fatiha. Bismillah. What's the Fatiha? I said, you were a Muslim for 2 years and you don't know the Fatiha. He's like, yeah, no, I do. I forgot it. I said, when did you leave Islam? A year ago. So in 1 year, you've forgotten like the Lord's Prayer, the equivalent to the Lord's Prayer. There's people who are not even Christian who know the Lord's Prayer. The Our Father who art in heaven. You heard of this, yeah? People say this, and you're not even. I'm never been a practicing Christian as it was, yeah. I know this. You probably even know some of it, yeah. It's like that. The Fatiha is so common for a practicing Muslim that you never forget it. You enter into Islam, I'm not saying you never forget it, but you have to have at least understand. Because I said to this guy, if I say, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, what are you going to say? He said, I don't know. I said, come on, man.
Nah, that's because
the guy never prayed.
If you're praying 5 times a day, you're reciting the Fatiha how many times?
17 minimum.
Minimum 17 times.
Minimum 17 times.
Yeah, this is what you were saying to me yesterday about the idea of entering into Islam fully. You were mentioning exactly this, saying that, some people, they become Muslim and then they leave Islam, and then you ask them about the Fatiha, they don't know it. So you feel like, well, you never really entered Islam fully because you didn't give it a chance.
Yeah, you didn't enter fully. Exactly what you're saying. Yeah. You didn't give it a chance, man. But convinced in the arguments is one thing, bro. I could have an argument with you now and explain to you how Nesquik is an amazing cereal and there's no point in buying any other cereal. And you could be convinced by that, yeah? But if you don't ever go and buy Nesquik, what was the point in that whole discussion? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I love Nesquik. Have you ever eaten it? And it's just to say, by the way, it's not sponsored by Nesquik, this podcast.
Yeah.
Although it would be nice if Nestle did chuck you a little...
It would be nice.
Yeah, you know what I mean? A year's supply of cereal. But I'll just use that as a silly example, yeah? But if I can convince you of something, but it doesn't impact your life in any way, shape or form, what's the point? What is the point? You get what I'm saying?
100%.
So I can, and it's very easy to convince people of the arguments of Islam. Why? Because they're so clear and logical. So people can become convinced that there is the way we're meant to live. But if you don't convert that into a faith, have the Iman aspect of it, the belief, because Islam isn't just logical principles of existence in this world, but it has the whole other side, the belief in unseen. That's the first thing. That's what they're witnessing. They're not witnessing that the best way to deal with a thief is to cut the hand off. Just as an example, yeah, or certain thievery, should I say, or the logic of the Sharia. They're not. That is not the first thing we have to be convinced by. We have to believe in the unseen. Number one, that is Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. I mean, nobody has seen Allah, yet we believe full-heartedly about that Allah exists, and that we believe that Allah Subhanahu wa Taala did not have any children. He wasn't born of anybody else. There's nothing like him. There's not two gods. He's not from a race of gods. Allah Subhanahu wa Taala is unique and alone in this. So this is the first thing. How can you can't even you've never seen Allah, and yet we have to believe this about him. Then you have to believe in the angels. Never seen an angel in my life, have you?
No.
Never walked down the road and go, you're right, but, oh, Mikhail, how's it going? Assalamu alaikum. Never happened. Yet we have to believe in it. If you do not believe in the malaika, as has been taught by the Prophet ﷺ, that they're made of light and that they travel around doing Allah's bidding, and that Jibreel was the messenger to the messengers, you are not a Muslim. You can't be a Muslim. It's part of the unseen. Another aspect, to believe in the prophets. I never met any of the prophets, not a single one. Yet we're told that they exist, but we was never there to witness any of their stories, but we rely upon the Quran to narrate it to us. We have to believe in this. We have to believe in the Akhirah, that when we die, our souls, whatever they are made of, will be taken out of our bodies and been taken up through the heavens and then enter into the grave. And then after that, we'll be brought out of the grave and we'll be on that day standing in front of Allah on the Day of Judgment, where we'll be told to enter into another two places we've never seen, Jannah and Nar. This is all the prerequisite to becoming a Muslim.
It seems like your motivation comes from your motivation comes from imagining Jannah and kind of trying to attain it. And I think people have different ways that they get motivated to be the best Muslim they can be. And for me, it's more to stay away from the fire.
Yeah.
Whereas it seems like for you, it's like, and it's
the carrot and stick method.
When we stay to Yusha Evans seems to also, because if you listen to his lectures, he often talks about Jannah. And he's like, I'll be happy even if it's the streets of Jannah I'm sleeping on. I'll be happy. So it is one of those things, isn't it? Like you can tell by how a person is motivated, kind of what their characteristics are like. Because definitely, when I hear about the story, if I want an like a quick Iman boost, I'll listen to like the description of the hellfire, and it's just, oh nah man, I can't go there. You know what I mean? And that's what, for some reason, I find it easier to imagine that
down my spine
than
there,
to imagine Jannah. I don't know why, but that's yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it should be both to give a balanced view. Definitely, I'm encouraged to try and enter into Jannah, because the other side of the coin is, if I don't, and I could talk to you about hellfire, man, because there's some really amazing. I bet you if we asked the people at home to write down as many things as they know about Jahannam as they could, there will know far less than there actually is out there.
You know what?
There's a lot of information.
There's a lot of information. One thing that I heard recently that I didn't know, and this was from the fiqh of the winter months. Yeah. So how to behave in the winter months. They were saying, it was on GLM's, there was a lecture on GLM, and he was saying that, Sheikh, what he was saying, there's the hellfire said to Allah, subhanallah, I'm thirsty. No. The hellfire, the fire is so...
Allah asked the fire.
No, it's a different one. It's a different one. No,
it's not
that one. Yeah, it's a different one. I know what one you're going to say. Is there? You're going to say Allah's fire is there, are you full?
Yeah,
no. This is different one. Because this one I hadn't heard. That it was along the lines of, I think someone's trying to game, which should we let him in?
Yeah, and I think I know what the other hadith
It's about the breath.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you. So the hellfire, in essence, it was this. The hellfire said that the fire is too much. The fire of the hellfire was so strong. The hellfire said, I need to take a breath.
Yeah.
And so Allah allowed the hellfire to take 2 breaths.
That's exactly right.
That's so in the summer when we feel the blazing heat, like a heat wave, and in the winter when we feel the really cold spells, they're the 2 breaths. They're the 2 breaths that hellfire takes. And the Sheikh, he was saying that, there's a person might come and say, hold on a second, but there's countries in the world that are always hot, countries in the world that are always cold. What about Antarctica? Or what about when? And he said, look, this is the same people who they want science for everything. This is sami'na wa ata'na. This is what we've been told. But I found that amazing that. Because that was a description of the hellfire, or a part of the hellfire that I had never heard before.
Really?
Yeah, that the hellfire takes breaths.
Yeah, this is true. I read it. I don't know the strength of the hadith, but obviously the Sheikh knows obviously way better. But yeah, in the summer and winter, the breath of the hellfire, and exactly what you said. A lot of people think that, it's due to the rotation of the earth. They try and make it a geological thing, or what is it? Astrological. What is it? What's the description of the weather? What do they call it? Meteorological. That's it. Okay. Meteorological. Thing that it's to do with the weather changing because of where the part of the earth is at any given time of the year. So at the moment, the sun is shining towards the southern hemisphere. Therefore, the northern hemisphere, we're going through the cold weather. Whatever the result is, however you want to paint it out, it's because of this reason. Yeah. Just because you can't see it and it's unseen doesn't mean that it's not that reason. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, 100%. Like we could say, why is the sky blue? And someone could try their very best to explain it, but the sky's blue. You could come with anything, but why blue? Why not green? Because there's certain parameters that have been set in this world to be the way that they are. And like the countries that are forever, like Malaysia doesn't really get that cold apparently. It's like it fluctuates very little, like 4 degrees throughout the year. Fluctuates between like 4 or 7 degrees, something like that. It hardly changes. But does that mean now that this hadith isn't true? No. It's just that particular part of the earth isn't affected by what the hadith has mentioned. It doesn't mean, or at least it's unnoticeable. It's unnoticeable, the effect. But it doesn't mean that it didn't happen. And likewise, death. We could sit here and argue, when I'm dying, my soul's not getting taken up by no angels. Okay, cool. Believe that. Yeah, there's no such thing as breathing for the summer and winter. Yeah, okay, cool. Anything else that you don't believe? Yeah, that's fine.
I remember seeing a debate, and then I can't remember exactly who it is. Well, I think I do, but it was a debate, and the non-Muslim said to the Muslim, "What are you gonna do? What would you do if you lived your whole life like this as a Muslim, and then you died, and then you after death you realize that none of it was true? What would you do if that happened?" And the Muslim said to the non-Muslim, "What would you do if you lived your whole life like this and it was true?" So he said, if I lived my whole life like this and it wasn't true, not that even for a second that could be a possibility, because as a Muslim you have to believe with yaqeen 100% that is true. But even if, like for argument's sake, if that scenario happened, I lived my life, I was good to my neighbours, I was honest, I never lied, etc, etc, etc. I was a moral person. But what about you? What are you going to do? Not if, when you find out that it is true. And bro, the guy, because I remember seeing, I think someone in my family might have even told me that they saw it in a debate. So I can't remember exactly what the reaction was, but I imagine the person was speechless after that.
Yeah. What a thing to say as well.
What a thing to say, yeah.
Yeah.
What are you going to do when it is?
What are you going to do if it's not real? Well, number one, if like, okay, let's say, what can I do? I don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
That's what they say. You don't exist. You cease to exist. So there's never going to be a moment where I'm going to be able to think, oh.
What am I going to do now?
Because I can't think anymore. Why? Because my brain died. Yeah. Because that's where I existed, as a brain only, as this matter you see in front of you. Yeah. But obviously we know for sure, there's no doubt whatsoever that there's something other than this biological matter in front of me that makes me me.
Yeah.
Because I think differently to you. Your brain is the same as mine. But we think differently, we feel differently, we act differently. When I sleep at night, I have dreams. There's something more to me than just matter, you know? But imagine saying that to someone. Yeah. Oh.
It's a bit of a childish argument, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a nice one because, what are you going to do then? Oh, we already know what you're going to say because Allah told us.
Yeah.
You're going to go, oh, send me back Allah. Please send me back Allah so I can pray. Oh, please send me back so I can give the poor people money. Oh, please. It's too late. You had your chance. Then the Malaika mock you as you're getting led in chains to the hellfire. They're led to the hellfire by the Malaika. It's in the Quran, it mentions it. And they say, did not messengers come to you? Didn't messengers come to you? What are you doing here, man? You're such a fool. Didn't messengers come to you? They're like, yeah, they did. But what did they say? Did they say, oh, but we were the ones who used to mock? We were the ones. No, what they say is, but we were not of the ones who used to pray and used to pay the poor people money. That's exactly what they say in the Quran. We were of those people, that group who never prayed and didn't give the poor people any money. They don't say we were the ones who didn't believe. Because they were kafir. They were hiding the fact of the truth of it in their hearts. They know. All of these kuffar know. Reality is, everybody knows deep down that there's something more to them than just this body that they're in. But people don't want to accept it. People want to, even like that sister who took Shahada, she needed that final push.
Yeah.
Otherwise, she may never have accepted it. Some people say, yeah, we believe in something, or we believe in a God. Some people say, we don't believe in anything. Yeah. But when the proverbial hits the fan, they always turn back to Allah. All of them. When there was one guy who said I was a staunch atheist, he was an American guy. He said, and when my daughter was about to die, I immediately turned to God. Oh, if you're real, please help me. And when the help came, he said, then I realized I had to change my life, and become a believer because of what happened. Oh, he said, I made a deal with God. God saved my daughter, who I didn't believe in, as he said, but he did. But why would somebody who don't believe in a God turn to a God that he don't believe in? Because innately, deep down inside, he did think that there could be some result from asking God. And sure enough, Allah gave to him what he asked for.
SubhanAllah.
And he ended up being a Muslim.
Wow. Bro, the thing that makes me so sad is that it's 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And 11 o'clock was our cut-off time. We got a permission from the organisers. We're on stage.
This is extra time we're doing right now, bro.
Yeah. We're on stage, inshallah, in very shortly.
Yep.
So we have to cut the podcast short. I know this could have gone for a new record because you held the record 3.5 hours.
What do you mean held?
Oh, you still
I don't have the record anymore.
you still hold the record for the longest episode of Freshly Grounded, 3.5 hours.
Okay, cool.
But I feel like the only person who's going to smash that record is yourself.
Okay, cool.
So, but inshallah, we'll do something probably when you come down.
Yeah, I'd love
and
to,
you come to the studio because you haven't seen our new studio either.
I haven't actually, no.
So,
and I liked your old studio, man.
it's very similar. It's even better.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's even better.
Yeah, I like
all right, thank you so much, Faruq. And I don't know why I'm shaking hands because we're still together for the next week still.
Yeah, we are.
In all the
but it looks good for the camera, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's been an absolute pleasure already travelling with you, bro, and spending time with you as it always is. And inshallah, we'll be back with another episode very shortly.
Shukran. And I just want to say to everyone, thank you for listening to the other podcast. I hope you get as much joy out of this one as you did that one. Sorry it's not as long, but yeah, maybe I'll be back soon, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.